bit of dirt on it. We don't have to worry about that.
Yours?
Yeah. I always say to people, if you can't see where you're walking, then it's best not to go through it. So this pile here, who knows what's in it? So keep to the left. We know that's an asbestos pipe. Just sitting there will do no harm. If you start smashing it up and it gets the dust, and that's when it's going to do harm. It's not one of the main products, it's a cleaning product. So basically we're just waiting on the guys from the asbestos clearance people just to walk the route and make sure that it's safe, which we believe it is safe. Have you felt unsafe at all here? No. No. And any asbestos is well away from us, isn't it? But the owners are saying it's best to just get checked out or else you'll have the council down those. So down here is where the maternity comes in. So that's the maternity ward after you've had a baby. 4 beds to a room. Some of them are 2 beds to a room. No open dormitory like it was the other end. You see how things change as time goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, they still had the babies in nurseries, but the roofs have gone all down there and it's a mess. So unless somebody's actually stayed there and had a baby here. This is the actual entrance to the maternity, so it has its own entrance, and we are at the other side, so at the other end of the site now, to the main hospital. This was maternity delivery. It's now home to trees, because the roof is gone. But if you shine your torch right down to the bottom on the left, will it reach that?
Mine probably won't. Yours probably would.
Mine is so. Okay, can you see? It says sterile area.
Yeah.
That's because to the right, as you're looking at that door, that's an operating theatre. That's a forceps deliveries, fontus, that kind of help. So somebody like you wouldn't need to be in there. In fact, somebody like you wouldn't even need to be in a maternity place because it would just pop out at home. Okay, and you'll get up and start.
The last one did, yeah.
And then to the left of that theatre is a delivery room. These are the days when your legs went up in stirrups, but yours wouldn't have been able to get up in stirrups in time. Okay? Women like you make me sick. No, you're lucky. And look how skinny you are as well.
I know.
How big are your babies?
Biggest one was £8.11.
11.
£8.11, you're tiny. My biggest was 9.13, he was my youngest. He was the easiest to deliver actually.
Well, worst part is that the newest one's only 7 weeks old.
Are you in pre-pregnancy clothes now? I bet you never got out of pre-pregnancy. Yeah. It will take me years.
Still taking me 4 years down the line. I'm still trying to.
Well, my youngest is 11 and I'm still struggling, and I run marathons. Anyway, so what was I going to say about this? Oh, that was it. That theatre was not used for C-sections. If there was an emergency, guess where you went?
Back to the other end?
Yeah, back to the other end up that corridor. And that corridor is over 1/4 mile long from this point. Yeah. So if there was an emergency, they had a system where lights would flash inside the corridor to clear the corridor. So if you were on the corridor and those lights started flashing, you got off the corridor because you knew somebody was being rushed up from maternity down here. And also if you intercepted the corridor, so there was corridors intercepting that central corridor, again they had a flashing light system. And you did not enter the corridor. Okay, and so they literally ran them up there.
Yeah.
They pushed them in straight. Glad I wasn't a porter here, because it goes uphill.
They must have been really skinny by the time I got to the top.
So they're pushing a woman that's in trouble. Yeah, I don't know. Whoever broke into the site and put it there probably had no clue this end was maternity. So, I know, everybody says that. Creepy! But it's plastic, so it's not an original.
So that's one way to put it,
So
isn't it?
that dark doorway at the very end, we're going to be walking past there, so we'll nip in that end just to look at the men's accommodation. But right now we're going to go and carry on down the outside walkway and have a look at the women's accommodation. Before we go, this is the nurses. We're going to, at the end of the walkway, there's another walkway, and they're standing there where their accommodation is. Just look how pristine everything. We have cut grass, pipe work going above the ground. Nurses looking good in their uniform. We're also going to be walking past the gym. Now, this gym has been here since the Second World War. The Americans built it. I remember seeing it like that, but it's a bit sadder than that now. And then that's the side of the gym with a row of lime trees that were pretty young. This picture was taken about 45 years ago. I'm going to walk past those lime trees. So you're going to see the difference between this and what they look like now. So we're going to go down this walkway. We'll go to stay to the left a little bit because there is a broken bit of roof there, and there's just a couple of pieces of the asbestos there, so we stay to the left. It'll be alright. And there's also a wasp nest there. Can you see?
Lovely.
It's fascinating.
It's amazing how they can stick to the walls, isn't it?
There's no asbestos there because of that. That's it. So you're alright now. And so this is what happened to the maternity roof. Look. I'm going to take the metal off the top, that's the insulation, and the white bit is the bottom bit. Once the metal goes, the weather can get to it, the wind can pick it up. When one goes, the rest goes, and then you're left at the end here with nothing.
There's a step there, Cal.
Yes, she roofs. Walkway, that was metal, cut down, metal taken, and roofs to start with. So that picture with the nurses, they were standing just here in front of this walkway. This road took you round to maternity. There's those trees. Wow. 45 years on, there's the gym. That's been there since 1946. We'll walk past that in a bit. When everybody goes quiet and they go, not more corridor, not more walkway. I'm really tired now, my legs are killing me. Are you all enjoying it? Yeah? I just need a stick. So what's that? I just need a stick. Right then, so the nice thing about this torch is when I shine it up, it brightens the place up. This is B block. There are two of these blocks, A and B. And this is where the nurses stayed. In the early 50s, when it was first built, it was an open dormitory style, just like the wards, you know, where you had it just all, they all look the same, these buildings. About 28 beds, I think it was, or 24 beds, something like that. Sometime in the 60s, they made the decision to put in the walls and turn them into single bedroom accommodation. So at the end of each of the blocks, you have toilets and bathrooms. You also have washrooms and washroom and a drying room for washing your clothes and drying your clothes.
You got spare light? Got spare light?
Pigeons might.
Oh, the one that curses that.
Once we get past this bit.
Thank you.
How's it charged?
Plastic is the carpet.
Yeah, how's it charged?
So there's carpet underneath. Once you get the carpet,
I've still got like 80% left in that battery. That bank. Yeah, it's just got the phone to 67%. Like.
Who's dead?
a mirror. Is that mirror still?
When I put it on charge, how are you on? It's fucking.
Oh,
How much batteries does this got?
4 days.
above the sink.
And then the bank in the back, it didn't go up to full brightness. Only go up to like full with battery. In fact, I've got some more batteries in my backpack.
Yeah, I've got some. 2 seconds.
Can't go anywhere else.
Yes.
But obviously, the cable I've got on my bank also goes straight into this as well. Click sideways.
Well,
Back to filming.
big shout out to Matt. He's just saying that he's late, so now we can see a little bit more. Exploration.
Carl's
So
back.
you men weren't allowed in here.
I would have said Carl's now back up and running.
You would have been, if you'd been caught, you would have been in trouble, big time.
Wouldn't be the first time anyone has though, would it?
But they still managed it.
Yeah.
The windows are big. So anyway, so it continues the same that way, and then block A is it's the same layout. So once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
So you get an idea of how they lived anyways. And they got carpet. The men didn't have carpet.
I kind of noticed that we weren't making quite as much sound.
It is, it's carpet. Although it does get up the nostrils. The dust goes up more, I've noticed, especially at night time. You see it all.
Yeah.
When I'm walking, I can see it all kind of staring around my light.
Tell you what, the windows are massive.
Yeah, I tell you, the windows are massive. They're massive for a
You could put a piece of furniture through them.
So did you hear what was in them? A bed, a wardrobe, chest of drawers, a sink with a mirror above it and tiles. Did I miss anything? No. That was it.
That was it.
It's one person. One person per room. Although I'm sure there used to be 2 heads now and then. Oh look! It's intact! A light! Intact, completely.
Time to worry when it starts lighting up.
Considering there's no electricity.
That's what I mean, that's time to worry.
No electricity, but intact.
Speaker. Tell me.
Now I'm looking to see if there's any others.
See a little black speaker, tell me.
Why?
He's dropped out of my pocket.
Carl's lost his speaker.
Is what?
The SP7 speaker.
Oh, well, I ain't got a clue.
What was that?
He's lost his little speaker thing for the box. Going all the way back up into it.
It's a speaker thing.
It's just like a little black ball, fluffy ball thing.
Oh, okay. Well, if I find it, I'll have to let you know.
You won't be able to miss it. It'll look like a golf ball, really, doesn't it? But black.
Well, when did you last see it?
I don't know, it could have
It's
been
here,
in
look.
She found it.
I'm very good at finding things.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'll put it in your backpack. Is this where you? Is this where you end up with a list of things to look for?
Well, on the first, there was one guy, I think it was one of the first tours, he lost his torch. I haven't been able to find it. And then another person, there's the gym, still got the backboard, look.
Yeah.
And somebody felt the need to write the gym.
Why not?
Well, they're trying to help identify it, at least.
So there was a couple, they lost the keys. And car keys.
Oh dear.
But fortunately, his wife had a spare. So I found them the next day on the tour. He thought he had got them. Where's his drop them? Right near the end. But he actually dropped them in the very first building we'd gone in, which was the HQ building.
Yeah.
Because I was in there on the tour the next day and I was just about to tread and I looked down and there they were. So I told him I'd found them. Well, it wasn't the next day, it was the next tour on that day. So he came back the next day at the date of the time I started on the tour to pick them up. So these trees have done well, haven't they?
Just a bit.
So down there is where the sergeant's mess was. And right at the far end, furthest away from where the because the sergeant's mess was the mess hall, so where they ate, but also their function rooms as well. So the airmen's mess was a lot bigger and on its own, and then you had the clubhouse, the airmen's club, which is the Winged Serpent Club, was a separate thing, weren't you? But with the sergeants, there weren't as many, so they had everything kind of compacted. We're just going to put a look at the water tower. So this is ours. See the smoke coming out of the tunnels. Was built in 1944 by the Americans when they were here. That's what we've worked out from having to do a bit of research. It's not a British build, it's an American style, I would call it a British style. So we've entered our land now. This is where we started building the fence.
I would say, just tell it's clear as well.
Yeah, well, see all that? This is what this was. You couldn't even see the holding tank. Everything, all this land was just under brambles and everything.
So what are you doing with these ones then?
Which ones?
The big trees.
These ones are staying. We took down that one, that one, that one. They weren't in very good condition. Those two don't belong to us. Our fence runs just in front of that. So over to there and then all along here. And we own the other side of that fence as well. So these two are staying and they'll start to fill out now. Now that these aren't here, the branches and leaves will come out this way over time. These are good to keep. They'll pop out in a minute. He'll shock you. All of a sudden they'll creep up and so, what can I say about the roof tower? It's an ugly building. And it's going to be our home.
You're going to convert this into a house?
Yes, we've got planning permission.
How?
It's going to be 7 bedrooms.
Be more like a castle than a house.
Yeah, it's going to have 5
Oh.
floors. That is going to be restored, so the money from the tours is going to help restore that and put a stained glass window over the entrance, where the entrance is going to be between these 2 buildings. This is going to be the bedrooms and bathrooms, and this is going to have a single-storey timber framed glazed structure on top of there, and that's going to be our living area.
You don't mind if we have a look inside, do you?
No, go and have a look. It's so funny because people come on. It's like we haven't started it yet. Have a look. It's got a good acoustics in there.
On the upside though, you'll be able to put an observatory on top.
Well, what we're having on top is a terrace. Not on the roof. On the top floor, going off the master bedroom, we'll be able to step outside onto a terrace. Which is going, the brickwork's coming away from that corner. It's going to be that corner at the top. And then we put it back and they've got big holes in it so we can look out, but from the outside it will be solid.
So what are you doing, 2 floors? Or?
3 floors are going in, that floor's coming out and the floor on that side. So those floors are coming out and then we're putting 3 floors in, which will give us 9 floors into it. So the ground floor, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is going to have a bedroom here and a shower room here and then a living room over there. We do have 3 grown-up children. And one of them is married and he was saying he might be coming back and now he's saying he might be buying a house, so I don't know. Our oldest, she's going to be 22 this month, so she works part-time and studies part-time at university, so can't see her leaving home anytime soon.
Yeah,
So this will be her pad down here.
You have 7 bedrooms, are you sure your son's not moving back in, rather than just moving up here?
He might come back. He did say he might be back next September when he finishes his masters with his wife, because they've got married this summer. So he said, if you do, the ground floor will be yours, and until you find your own place.
No, yours won't fit. It's designed differently. So a quick release up top. So obviously I'd have been, you know this,
Yeah.
on a night I could have clicked it, took it off, started it in my backpack a bit easier.
Wonderful. Is it a Joby?
Similar.
So I said, look, we're really struggling with the building.
footage to sift through tonight.
But yeah, I'm on. This is, I think, click 3, 20 minutes. Other two is like an hour or something each.
Already filled up one card. 4 clips.
Yeah, well, that's a full 65 gig that's sat in there.
Mine's 32.
No, I'm just saying I've got 64 sat in there. It's empty. For that reason. But no, like I said, if everyone big explorers and I've got my other light with me, it's there for use, isn't it? I only thought I'd set it up today for, you know, because if they were disappearing off of actually separating.
Yeah.
Let's face it, they kind of need it in here. It's a bit of a maze.
Lovely.
Oh, it is. I've got to admit though, I do prefer Fenton in some ways, in the fact how clear Fenton is, you know, because they're actually redeveloping it.
Only the roads.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because of redeveloping.
It's taken about 5 weeks and still not had it. Simply because of COVID, they are struggling to get the bolts from manufacturers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are still not properly up and running.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put my big camera back. Yeah, that was at 93% when I fixed it up. It's recharged my phone and recharging my light. It's not even moved.
This one here.
Takes a bit to charge it though.
They are the sergeant's accommodation. They were the single room kind of accommodation. We can't go in there because that's where the bats have decided to put their nurseries. So bats are protected, so we stay roaming. Yeah. And this is the way we have to come. We have to come through the gates, past the HQ building, down and around down here to get to the water tower.
Yeah.
So hence why this road is starting to clear. Because we are slowly scraping the mud off it and driving a vehicle up and down every day.
I would say when they're fetching stuff in to do your building work, they'll definitely be what clear on it.
I just need them to drop the bucket and scrape it as they drive along, is what they need, and widen it a bit more. We had to, when we had the container delivered, because that's a 32-foot container, and it sticks out the back of the lorry that brought it, we needed to have to make sure there was a 14-foot clearance. So Sean had to just raise do a bit of crown lifting and put the vegetation up.
Well, at least he knows how to use a chainsaw then.
Well, he's a tree officer, so.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's a tree expert.
Comes in handy for keeping this place tidy then.
Yeah. I've always said I think the owners are fortunate that they've got somebody like Sean looking after that place. But plenty of wood.
Especially, well, you were saying you've got a wood burning stove, haven't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely well used.
And we've got a wood burning stove at home as well, or a house that we've got now. Oh well, he's having a great
Well,
time.
at least you get so much to the food when you put all that.
So I'm the one that does all the chopping, or most of it. I leave the hard bits for my husband. Has he joined us yet?
No.
Yeah.
No, she was on about her husband.
He's not joined us yet. So. Oh, there
I can hear him.
There he is. Hello, darling. Bit of civilization. Not seen any wire since you've been here, have you? There you go. A telephone wire. With a telephone pole, a pole there, and a pole here. But that wire does not reach that pole. I thought it did. And a week or two ago I discovered it didn't. But it's nice and taut. So
Stuck in the tree.
So I think the tree has become part of it, or it has become part of the tree. But it's there still. It makes us smile. So the building behind there on the left is the telecommunication building. Hence why there's a telegraph pole there. So they used to call it a PBX. Don't know why. Why do you call it a PBX, John?
No? Phone and something?
Pretty new compared with the rest of it, yeah.
I'm going to step down twice onto the walkway.
Now we were walking up the road. There was a path on our right as we were walking up that road, and it does lead to this walkway.
And you made sure you were not the last out of the mess hall.
Yeah.
If you wanted the nice hat back. So imagine the one with the headlights, you got that one. And they used to hang them up on here. Just along there. And then jackets as well, I was glad to have the jackets.
Yeah.
Funny the things that they're allowed and cannot do. You know, some say, oh, they can just put it on the lapel. Couldn't have it on the head, but they could have it on the person.
Yeah.
But here, they couldn't. So they had to leave it outside of the mess for whatever reason. Yes, I'm going to slaughter my daughters for giving me this page. So, this walkway takes you to the building that's behind the mess hall, which is the main kitchens to the hospital. So all the hustle and bustle, you know, I guess was heard in the mess hall here. Of course, the sergeants, well away from everybody else. Officers in the hall.
Yeah.
You know, but the lower ranks, it's all here. If you carried on round down that walkway down to the left, it would be the ends of the walls. So we're actually getting close back to the entrance now.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we've just got one last thing to walk through. Which is a nice little room. Hidden away, we have another one of these missing huts. Which shows a little bit of character. This was used, at least in the 70s that I know of, as for the youth discos. Every Friday night between 7 and 9 they would have a disco for the youth. Now the British remember the walls being green, like over there, or the green. So we believe it was the Americans that painted the pictures on the walls.
That'll explain that one then.
Yes, Captain America. And also the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace is British, but they do like Dennis the Menace. But everything else is American, isn't it?
No, disco feet.
And look, they even painted different colours on
Jackson will be alright.
Madness is British.
So,
Somebody kicked him in the bits. What's
Madness
that?
is British.
Yes, Madness.
Blondie.
Makes you wonder what's all that. This looks like we might have to on at a later date.
Carl,
There might be a bit of graffiti here.
police,
Police, yeah.
the specials.
Yeah. They're all British, aren't they?
Yeah.
Squeeze.
But there was a guy here, he grew up in the village. Not Air Force, but 1979, he was young and a youth, and he came to the discos, and he said this wasn't here, the paintings. And the British left in 83. So, who knows? But then there was still British people working in things. So, when you step into this bit, it feels like you've gone back in time. Because look, you've got these Nissan huts all around you, and also this air raid siren tower.
Oh, yeah.
So this is left over from World War II. The siren's been stolen, but it used to be at the top. It was a wind-up type siren.
So some person got the duty of standing there.
RAF Metheringham would be watching the skies, and they would let them know if something's on its way, and then they can sign the siren if there was an area.
on my card.
Where we are now, behind
Second card.
that building there, HQ building, the first building you went in. So we're actually behind the
Warming up
headquarters
step down.
Yeah.
Freezing.
So we're between the headquarters building and the outpatients.
Sitting here and I don't care.
That's all.
What are you doing?
He's run out of space.
Cards. It's full already.
I filled two.
Well, it's a long tour. It's a big
Nearly
place. Lot to see.
Do you want to check it out?
That boy that
So we know that was used for the disco. This one was used, one in front of us, the civilian cleaners in the 1970s, those that, because there was plenty of jobs, it wasn't just the military that was here, they employed civilians too, you had civilian nurses as well. But you did, like, the wives of the personnel, you know, whenever they would clean or whatever. So the cleaners use this as the staff room and restroom, you know, break room, things like that, toilets. So they use that building. So I know that was used in the 70s as disco, this youth disco, this was used by cleaners. And this one is curious.
Right.
This one is curious because a gentleman came on a tour on Saturday. He was born here in 1981. And his mum said, you were born in a Nissan hut on RAF Nocton. I went, what? The maternity's down that end at that time period. He goes, no. I said, are you sure? She's not winding, no. And I said, what was it like, this Nissan hut? Did she describe it to you? And she goes, yes. She said that there was 2 rooms at each end, and that's where the nurseries were. The babies were in those rooms, and the mothers delivered in the centre bit. And there's only 4 or 5 mothers. And I'm like, I know where that hut is. So this is that hut. When you go in here, you see the 2 rooms on the side. There's 1 room, there's the other one. And he took photographs and he showed his mum and she goes, that's it, that's where you were born. And so I'm on groups where nurses, RAF nurses, and I asked them, I said, has anybody working in maternity in 1981? Somebody said, I did, because I said, I understand, you know, by then it had gone to the far end. And I said, but I've got a gentleman that said he was born in a Nissan hut in 1981, near the main entrance. And they said, I was there in 81, it was near the end of 81, but I don't recall any babies being born in a Nissan hut. So far I've got to find out, but she described this Nissan.
Yeah.
So there must be truth to it, she's not going to wind him up, is she?
Not if she can describe it to that extent.
Sorry?
Not if she can describe it to that extent.
Yeah, she described it as there was 2 rooms at each side, and I thought this is the only Nissan hut on the site that's got 2 rooms on each side. And he said, I was slightly jaundiced, so they had me in the one with the window facing the main area. So that's that one.
Yeah.
And then the babies that broke off were there. So interesting.
Yeah.
The mystery needs to be looked into a bit more. And then we go down this walkway, we've got a original window there, and it just takes us into a smaller Nissan hut. So there's actually a group of 4 here. We saw 3 at the other end, 1 near the generator, so that's 8. But when the vegetation's died back, I'm going to look to see if there's a 3rd one in a row that's down the other end, to see if that makes 9. If not, there's 8. And that's a bike shed.
Bike shed.
Bike.
Well, this is that walkway we were on earlier, and it goes all the way down, and when it ends, that's the entrance.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only just up here. And there's another walkway hidden somewhere. Just here. This walkway takes you to the guards room, where the military police were.
So that's the guards room, and that building there, which was next door to the HQ building.
And then just here is the entrance. So the walkway ends, and there's the old entrance. And this is what it looked like, at least this is what it looked like in 2004, just after the fire in the hall, as a newspaper article. So there.
So it looks abandoned, empty, but it's intact.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much damage done until they came and stripped the site because of the metal prices going
Yeah.
up, which is a shame. So that was 2004. Obviously the MOD sold it in 1995, so that was 9 years after they sold it. So,
And then when we go around the corner here,